What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Motorhead YouTube channel. In today's video, we actually have a super exciting project that I've been wanting to work on for a while. This is actually my boss's Mustang. It is a 1967 notchback, and this thing is awesome. And it does need a lot of work, so we're gonna go ahead and start the restoration process. A lot of work has already been done on it, so it is actually pretty close and doesn't need much body work. As you guys just saw, I did throw down some guide coat, and we're gonna go ahead and block everything down. That way we can find all the imperfections. But first, we do wanna line up all the body panels, like the doors and everything, and make sure all the gaps are right so we can start sanding everything and making sure everything looks really good and get it ready for an all-over paint job. All right, so we are going to go ahead and start getting this aligned. And we need to take off this this fender, because he doesn't have a hood yet, so we won't really know that gap yet. We're gonna set this. It's pretty much there. It just needs to be opened up a little bit. That way we can go ahead and sand it and make sure everything is nice and straight. So we'll start with this side and then we'll move on to that side. And once we get this lined up, we'll start blocking all this out and find all the imperfections and get it ready for the second coat of primer. All right, so just a little adjustment and a little sanding. They're already looking great. It does get a little tight right here. We're gonna see what Larry wants to do about that. But I mean, overall, they're starting to look really great. As you can see right there, it goes in a tad bit. And then with this door, that's a really nice gap. And I mean, this was just one adjustment. It does look like it's lining up really good as far as how everything lines up that way. And a nice even gap through. It does get small right here. Possibly could be some excess Bondo on this quarter, so maybe I should try to sand that and we'll see. Okay, so just by sanding it a little, it did significantly open that up. And check that out, guys, that looks beautiful. So we're gonna keep going and match up that side to this side, that way they're identical. And then also Larry is looking for some trunk bolts. So when we get the trunk bolts, we'll get the trunk on, bolt that down also. And once everything is on, we can just go ahead and start blocking it down. Most likely with the 180, and just to see how everything looks. All right, guys, so I started sanding this and it's actually looking really good. There's not really any damage on here, so it's looking great. Larry already got this door gap good, and we've discovered that that side we actually made it too small, and this is how it's supposed to be because the fender is way too close over there. So we're gonna have to get the other side looking like this one. I mean, this gap looks really nice now. It's all nice and uniform, and that one is a little bit smaller now. So we need to take that fender off and move that one a tad bit forward, and it should be good. That way they're both identical. Okay guys, so after blocking it down, I've noticed that this thing is pretty much straight and in really good condition. A couple of things I'm noticing is like low spots right here, and we're going to do some putty and smooth that out. That way when everything's done, this is all perfectly flush. That's kind of why you do the guide coat, because you can really see, as you can see, this black stuff, it shows you all the imperfections. So we're gonna have to go over everything, block it all down, and find all the imperfections and get them all fixed. But it is getting late on us, so we're gonna call it a day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right guys, so it's the next day here, and Don actually went ahead and blocked all this out. I had to go run some errands, and the mud work here still needs some work. It's pretty rough along these edges, as you can see. This side wasn't fully completed. That side was body worked and is done. But this side, we do have a high spot here, so we need to continue to block this area right here and fill in all this pitting and make it super nice. Larry actually cut this out. I'm not sure how it was originally. I'm not really too familiar with this car, but he cut it out and he welded it in, so it looks a lot cleaner. That's what he told me anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and start blocking this out. This does need a lot of work on it to get it looking good. But other than that, I mean, it's looking pretty good. There's like a tiny dent here, a tiny one there, and I think I seen like a couple over there. So honestly, there's not really much mud work to do, but we're gonna go ahead and finish this little section right here. Okay guys, so we are going to go ahead and work on these drip rails, or I call them rust catchers.
Don't call it rust.
That's what it is, man. It's a rust catcher.
No, it ain't either.
That's all it does. Look, right here.
Give it character. It's character.
Yeah, character.
Yeah, a character. That's what it adds, character.
I don't know.
It's an old car. It adds character.
My brother's is deleted. It looks a lot better. But
It looks character.
anyways, there is a lot of rust in there, so I'm gonna wire wheel it out. And I thought of an idea. Once I wire wheel it to panel bond this seam, make it nice and smooth. That way it'll look really good, and the panel bond will hold it all together. And obviously we'll get all the rust out first. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this side up, and I do need to bondo this right here really quick before I apply the panel bond. And once this is all smooth, Don's gonna do the same thing on that side, and we're gonna panel bond it together. All right guys, so I'm starting to clear it out, and as you can see, I did leave this just to show you guys how bad the rust is inside there. And obviously eventually that's gonna fail, so we need to get it all clean like this. I got it down to the metal, and we're just gonna go ahead and run this panel bond strip all the way through to the very end, to all the way to right here. And honestly, I think the panel bond is going to be a better seal than what was there originally. So once we get all this knocked down, we'll go ahead and start bondoing. And then I do need to get the rust out of there, and also that old seam sealer right there. So we're gonna keep chipping away at it, and once they're both done, we'll run a nice strip of panel bond, and it's gonna look absolutely amazing. All right, so we got it all cleaned up. We're not gonna go ahead and throw panel bond yet. We're gonna wait because we don't want dust to get all over it. So we're gonna go ahead and bondo all this stuff. And here at the end of the day, we'll throw the panel bond so it can cure overnight. We also do need to panel bond these spots right here, these two little seams on both sides. So we're gonna go ahead and continue working on it. There's a dent here. Is there any other dents on this side, Don?
No, no more dents on this side, thank goodness.
Yeah, so Don gave me the harder side.
No, I did not give you the harder side.
Yeah, he said, go, you do that side, I'll do this side. He knew, but it's pretty much there. There's just a couple little spots and we'll be good to go.
Man, what's wrong?
All right, so we got pretty much all the body work done. All these little spots. The only thing left on my side, and I believe Don's side too, is this little rocker panel. It is down a little, it needs to be brought up. So we're gonna do a little bit of kitty hair just to right here. And also these holes, I need to plug them. I guess there was a little chrome molding there that was deleted. So we're gonna go ahead and get that laid down and get this done. And then we'll throw some Bondo on top of it. The kitty hair is just gonna be a nice little base for the Bondo. And it's gonna be really strong. So let's get it done. All right, so me and Don finally got mud on our rocker panels. We had to weld up those holes and delete all that. And before we leave today, we want to go ahead and get the panel bond in here so it'll cure. So we're going to go ahead and air blow all this, get it off, and start applying the panel bond. We do actually need to grind down these welds because there were holes. So we'll get it all ready right now, and then we'll go ahead and apply this panel bond so it can cure overnight. I'm really liking how this panel bond laid down, guys, and this is going to seal this up real nicely and make sure that no water seeps through cracks, because seam sealer cracks over time. Panel bond is extremely strong. V2 actually used it to put his Hellcat roof on, and it was perfect. He had it for over a year and it didn't crack at all. So I think this is going to be an excellent solution. We're just going to smooth it out as best as we can, and when it dries before primer, we'll sand it real nicely and smooth out all the edges and make sure this is all nice and seamless. As you can see, it does have a little bit of a seam, but once we sand it out nice and smooth and throw primer over it, it's going to look amazing. And not only that, it's going to provide really good protection and sealant. Oh yeah, dude, that looks good. There's going to be little sanding on this, you know, just smooth it out a little bit. Get it nice and uniform, ready for the primer. As far as bodywork goes, I mean, we're pretty much done. This entire quarter is done. This door, I actually notice, has a dent right there, so I'll have to fix that tomorrow. And then obviously both of the rockers need to be sanded. But we're a little burned out with Bondo, so we're gonna sand that tomorrow. So we decided panel bond would be a perfect way to end the day, you know, take it easy. So once this dries tomorrow, we'll be able to smooth it all out and then go over the car, make sure there's no more damage on it. And then it'll be ready for the primer. I'm actually gonna show you the primer. Don actually did a bunch of hot rods at a different shop and they use this primer. And he says it's really good stuff. You said, what'd you call it?
Motorhead?
Yeah, you said it was liquid
Primer?
liquid Bondo.
Liquid Bondo.
Is it
Feels
that?
all kinds of stuff.
Oh, really?
Body man friendly.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna throw it on the 80 grit, and then once that's done, we'll block it out one more time with 180 and throw the ready to spray primer on it. And Don's gonna throw a slick paint job on it, and then we're gonna buff it out. Well, maybe we'll leave all the buffing for Don.
No, don't think so. Buffing is his department.
I don't know about that, sir. But yeah, this thing's coming together. I mean, really isn't much body work to do, honestly. I think we can knock it out between me and Don. I mean, it ain't much. All right, guys, so this is the next day here, and we've done a lot of work off camera because we're trying to get it primed today. And I had to do some body work right here. And we also found some more damage on the roof. And also we did have to do some more filler work here, but pretty much ready for primer. We're just going over all the final bits and pieces to make it look good. And right now me and Larry are going to delete this antenna hole right here, as you can see. So I already sanded around it, and we're gonna find something that we can weld in there because it's gonna look a lot cleaner without it. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then a couple little other things, and it'll be ready for primer. that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the Mustang, and stay tuned. If you wanna see the paint job, be sure to smash that subscribe button, because we're gonna get this thing blocked out and final primed tomorrow, and then it's ready for paint, and we're just gonna wet sand it and get it ready. And also, if you want to get the inside scoop before the videos drop, you can follow me on Instagram at motorhead.co. I'll link it down below. We appreciate all the love and support, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.